Hey guys, Pample here, back on my Tekkit server, and today I'm starting a new series called Let's Rate. This will be a series where I will take different items in a certain category and rate them on how well they function and operate in different categories, I guess you could say. And today, for my first episode of this possible series, I'm going to be doing industrial craft items that generate electricity. I'm not doing all the items, I'm just doing most of them, or the ones that I'm most experienced in. And today I'm rating them in 4 categories using 4 different items. For each wrench, the wrench represents that it's easy to build and easy to produce. The battery represents its ability to generate electricity, so if I rate it with more batteries, it means it can generate electricity better. Coal represents negative points about it, so if there's something bad about it, it'll get a piece of coal. And cookies represent compatibility with the environment, meaning it can work pretty much anywhere. So, I'm about to get started. Just one little disclaimer is, I know I'm kind of giving my own opinion on this, however, I am trying to be kind of neutral biased on everything. So, I would ask that you just take my opinion as it is, and not start arguments in the comments. And thanks in advance for that. Now let's get started. Starting off, we have the generator. The generator is probably the most basic of the industrial craft items, and it's probably the most simple to make. It requires an RE battery, 3 pieces of refined iron, or an iron furnace, or a furnace, a machine block, and an RE battery. So, to start off, I'm going to give it 2 wrenches, one for being easy to build, and one for having 2 possibilities on how to make it. Now, energy-wise, it's pretty much you burn anything, like coal or wood or something, and it generates electricity. Honestly, not that great, because it's basically smelting, but with electricity. So it's not that efficient, so it'll give it 1 battery, I guess. And also, it'll be costing items to actually gain electricity, where in others it doesn't require. So it's going to get a piece of coal for that. And lastly, compatibility. These things can work anywhere. I mean, in your house, outside, underground, in the air. Can work anywhere, so it gets a cookie. Now, I'm hoping you understand my rating system here. It gets 2 wrenches for being easy to make and stuff. It gets 1 RE battery for having a poor electricity generating rating. It gets a piece of coal for requiring items to be destroyed to actually make it work. And it gets a cookie for being compatible anywhere. Now, let's move on, now that we all hopefully understand. The next one is the Windmill. Windmill. Whoops. Not windmill, sorry. Space mill. This just requires a generator and 4 iron ingots to make, which is very easy, so gets a wrench for that. Now, as for electricity, it generates pretty decent amount of electricity. It'll work day and night, so it'll get 1 RE battery for that. And in storms, it will generate even more. Now, in the way of inconvenience, there is a problem with the windmill, because if it's near blocks, too close to the ground, or just having blocks in its general area, it reduces the amount of electricity that the windmill generates. So, piece of coal for inconvenience. As for compatibility, I'm not going to give it a cookie for compatibility, because due to the fact that it needs to be in an open space in the middle of the air, preferably up high, it means it kind of can only be in a certain amount of space. So, no cookies for the windmill. Moving on, the next item is the Watermill. This time I'll put a space. Now, the Watermill requires a generator, 4 sticks, and 4 planks of wood, and you get 2 of them. So because of that, I'm giving it 2 wrenches. Now, electricity these things are actually quite interesting because you can just put them in water, and they'll generate electricity on their own if they're in just a 3 by 3 by 3 cube of water, which is quite convenient. The amount of electricity it generates is subpar, so it's going to get one RE battery to start. However, if you open up the watermill, you can put buckets of water in yourself, and it'll generate even more electricity, like I think 4 times as much. So it's going to get another battery for that. The way of inconveniencing, I mean, since putting water into the watermill is not mandatory, you don't have to do it. You can just leave them on their own. However, your amount of electricity generated will be shot by that. However, no coal for the watermill. And as for compatibility, it needs to be in basically a 3 by 3 by 3 cube of water for it to really work. So, no cookies for compatibility because it needs to be submerged. Moving on. The solar panel. Now, it's solar panel. Now, it is the industrial gas solar panel. And this one, it requires a generator, 2 electronic circuits, 3 pieces of glass, and 3 coal desks, which means a lot of things. First off, you need access to a macerator, which is something that actually requires electricity itself. So therefore, the solar panel is not a very good starter item. Also, you need access to glass and copper cables and such to make this one. So it's not going to be getting any wrenches for, well, I'll give it 1 wrench for simplicity to make. And generating, I'm going to give it 2 batteries because the amount of electricity it generates works at a pretty fast rate. However, it will be getting a piece of coal because the generator only works on sunny days. It does not work at night, and it does not work when it's raining. And obviously, it doesn't work if it doesn't have access to the sun. However, I'll be giving it a cookie for convenience because they can be put pretty much anywhere. They can be put anywhere that, as long as they have access to the sun, they can generate electricity. And for the most part, that's pretty good. Because even if you're living underground, you can still make the solar panels work just by getting a little fancy by digging holes. Next up, we have the Geothermal Generator. This is the machine that takes lava and converts it into electricity. So, geothermal. As you can see, it requires a generator, 2 empty cells, which are just made out of tin, glass, and refined iron. So it is very simple to make, so I'll be giving it 2 wrenches for being easy to make. The amount of electricity... Oh, my geothermal generator was trying to cheat. The amount of electricity it makes is phenomenal, so I'll be giving it 3 batteries, because it makes a lot. However, I'm inconveniencing it due to the fact that it needs lava manually put into it, either through pipes or by hand, well, by bucket. Don't put lava in with your hand, that would hurt. But yeah, it needs to be put in manually for it to generate electricity. And compatibility, I will give it a cookie, because you can put the geothermal generator anywhere. However, you do need a source of lava. So rather than taking away its cookie, I'll be giving it a 2nd piece of coal due to the fact that you need a source of lava somewhere. Moving on, we have the nuclear reactor. Now, if you look at the nuclear reactor, as you can see, it requires a generator, 4 advanced alloys, advanced circuits, and reactor chambers, which require integrated reactor plating and more advanced alloys. And it requires a lot of advanced alloys, which require refined iron, bronze, a compressor, and some idea as to what you're doing. So it's not going to be getting any wrench, and automatically it's getting 2 pieces of coal for being really expensive. Now, power level, though, I am giving it 5 batteries, because the amount of electricity the reactor can generate is phenomenal. I mean, and if I had like 6 reactor chambers also hooked up to this, I would probably just filling this chest with batteries because the amount of electricity this thing can generate is amazing. However, I'm just doing it where, say, we have 1 uranium cell surrounded by 4 coolant cells, because that is very safe. It won't blow up on you unless you're, like, really mess it up somehow. And it'll have enough energy to keep basic machines powered. So it's difficult to make. Power, it's great. It's a little inconvenient, though, although power does make up for this. Now, compatibility with the environment. This is a little difficult for me to judge on the neutral basis because, I mean, you can put it basically anywhere that you have a bit of open space. However, you have to actually consent to risking the well-being of that place. So, I'll give it a cookie, but I'll be kind of iffy about that one. So that's it for this episode. I hope you learned a bit, or at least somewhat enjoy this series. Like and favorite and give feedback, and thanks for watching.